Moran resource owners petitioned oil search. Prime Minister calls for innovative ideas from unemployed citizens. And Janalan's attacker charged with willful murder.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Sayre.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Friday's news. Mineral Resource Development Company has released a fact sheet on the different beneficial entities of landowner companies in oil projects in Southern Highlands. This follows the transfer of 2.5 million kina by Kumul Petroleum Limited to Moran Oil Limited, a company not recognized and was not part of the initial UBS and LBSA signing in Kokopo in 2009. Today, 20 ILGs in the PDL5 area of the Moran project petitioned developer Oil Search Limited, threatening to block off the wellhead if KPHL does not respond.
Custodian of Oil and Gas Benefits MRDC today published a fact sheet in one of the dailies outlining the different corporate trustees under the Companies Act and the MRDC Constitution. Petroleum Resource Moran or PRM is one recognized by law. For the Moran PDL5 land owners, KPHL has paid 2.5 million to a new company, Moran Oil Limited.
You must clear. All the Papangran stable here. Company stable PRM M where Miblasa Kisim royalty goody. Money must follow this plan now 2.5 million. You pay me along Moran Oil Limited. Very wrong.
They insist the 5% additional equity from EDA oil interest be paid to Petroleum Resource Moran under MRDC as the custodian. They now have signed another petition to project developer Oil Sheds to stop operations at the wellhead. This is the second petition as KPHL has not responded to the first, which has elapsed.
Tomorrow, I'm going to give him 7 days notice law. Also can petition bam give him. Me give him now. Me go stop and double also. All head now you become give him this money. M1 pla. Number 2. MRDC me have benefit lo MRDC let stop ya. Me have benefit lo this la. Hamas 20 or 30 years me sim benefit ya. Me sim lo MRDC. Me no sim lo Moran Oil Limited.
With MRDC indicating that PRM is the rightful custodian of oil and gas benefits for these concerned land owners, they now want KPHL to transfer the 2.5 million kina back to Petroleum Resource Moran. They say the Oil and Gas Act has not changed and why KPHL has paid the benefit to an unknown company created by 11 people.
Nubla company, individual company and money 5% at the well and by the Nabukun Nubla company. Because the
aggrieved landowners now await KPHL to respond or see the wellhead blocked as indicated in the petition. They are questioning the motive behind this payment.
35 plumban stable here. Monday week you know give him 2.5 million. Me plumbago wellhead. You carry him wellhead. Carry him wellhead. Kumul petroleum you must carry him wellhead. 35 ILG stable here yeah. Hamas man, mibla man, Mary Piginini, mibla Lusim Long. Homo Power, Kutubu, Moran area, mibla kam. Already the pink dog one bambla wandabla wellhead. 2,500,000, Kumul Petroleum, you must carry gamla wellhead. You must carry gam. Now, mibla tomorrow start bambla game petition long chess. Now, mibla clearing also, mibla Papangran, bambla wandabla wellhead.
Jagla Power Junior National EMTV News.
Amidst the COVID-19 threat and the economic uncertainty, a landowner company in the PNG LNG project has paid 100% dividend to its shareholders. Tabu and Teni Angore Now Investment Limited paid $500,000 kina to 223 shareholders this week in Angore Hela province. Company board chairman Pupi Toria says though challenges of business operations exist, profit is made with the business expanding its assets and properties.
223 shareholders from the Tabu and Teni clans in the PDL8 area block 1715 gathered at the Kaluma base camp to receive their dividend. A happy moment for these shareholders who have started this business from scratch. The firm's chairman says the business has thrived despite challenges. He upheld the shareholders for their confidence.
ose mi yet kamap semen blotiti na lili kabari bluyumi emwalo bro stopping sen lotiti action na HDC so you must look at this la stop la company good na you by benefit na this la share difference lo you playa me plan by giving me go 100% low you plan now.
In 2010, initial establishment of the Tabu and Teniang Goren Now High Limited was established as a small to medium enterprise business. The company built an accommodation facility in Kaloma to house staff and security for the PNG LNG project in Hela province. Now modern facilities have been built.
What we did is we start everything with the campus. So let's start the finish, come up, project, all the developers come inside. They are willing to help us. So with the support of the Action Mobile, with the support of the subcontractors of Action Mobile, the contractors of Action Mobile, they help us a lot. So we succeed, then we prosper, and we move on. So that's what happened to the younger Noai. So we paid first dividend, second dividend, now it's the third dividend.
The firm has also ventured into other businesses such as catering, car hire, fleet hire, banking services and office space rent. The firm employs 48 full-time staff, whom most are locals. The board deputy chairman says the company has huge plans to expand with the confidence driven by its shareholders.
So in all government of the Mibla, in all members of the Mibla, and Mibla yet hard work problem, so what problem led, and Mibla yet Mibla welcome Sla. Now, Mibla look more Action Mobile come.
This is the third dividend payout for its shareholders. The firm has about 15 million kina assets with the recent purchase of a small older oil palm block in Kimbe, West New Britain province.
Me black nationwide and running man or leaders of place. Me black sacrifice. No high ami panim keke. Talk plus hella panim keke.
This year also marks 10 years of successful growth of the landowner company. Jack Lapave Jr., National EMTV News.
Two warring tribes in the Day electorate of Western Highlands Province finally signed a truce agreement after over 20 years of tribal fighting. More than 100 people have died and properties worth millions of kina destroyed. It took peace mediators, local leaders and churches a huge effort and time to convince these groups to finally come to peace.
The two neighboring tribes of Kimka and Rogelka signed the truce agreement to stop the 20 years of tribal warfare between themselves over the ownership of Gumanj coffee plantation. The plantation is said to be the biggest in the country and the third largest in the southern hemisphere. Day MP Wesley Nukunj was backed up by the other local MPs and Governor Pius Wingti to pursue peace and allow for services to reopen.
En moet zien kunnen we die players komen fighten. Die players starten met players komen. Dus voor een pisariaat na, jullie gaan go back normal life. En mij bestaat accepten, ook de member bestaat accepten jullie mee.
The fighting had stopped over the past years, but erupted again last year, which affected schools, health services, churches, and made them homeless for almost a year. Hundreds of people have lost their lives during the fight and properties worth millions destroyed. The tribal warfare was at the brink of just wiping themselves out when local leaders, police and churches intervened. Commissioner of Internal Revenue Commissioner Sam Coim, who is also a local, spearheaded the peace negotiation.
So you mean your leader, you mean losing tank, you mean I'm going now and fight them up. So I'm just strong to talk agreement being strong and you mean controlling to talk you mean.
The fight has involved the use of high-powered guns to gain authority over the coffee plantation to benefit from its shares and profits. Governor Pius Wingti presented the two tribes with pigs to add a customary touch and to signify the agreement to stop fighting and killing each other.
Peace by because leadership long to play area is committed lots of peace. Now you may order by walk towards peace.
Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Prime Minister James Marape has urged local businesses to make full use of the huge advantage they have in owning land in their various villages. He also encouraged Papua New Guineans who are unemployed to come up with innovative ideas to earn an income with the available resources they have. Prime Minister Marape shared the story of his mother who sold garden produce and sewed clothes to earn an income to put all her children to school. He was speaking at the SME breakfast in Port Moresby this morning.
The Prime Minister arrived from Lae early this morning after holding talks on the Wafi Golpu project to speak at the second PNG SME business breakfast at Hilton Hotel in the nation's capital. His passion to strengthen PNG's agriculture industry and encourage local businesses to flourish was echoed yet again.
I'd like to point Papua New Guineans as a startup back to agriculture and the food industry. Food industry for domestic food needs, as well as our market around us in Asia and in the Pacific region.
In sharing a moving story of how his own mother went into small business to support her family's livelihood, he encouraged Papua New Guineans to be productive and innovative.
Every year, unfailingly, since 1978, when I, as a firstborn child, entered school, until her last-born son left school 10 years ago at Pacific Advantage University, she was able to assist all her kids to university, and 6 of us. So, Papua New Guineans out there, don't just dream big dreams and run around with concepts in your mind without trying to get your hand dirty.
City Pharmacy Limited Group Managing Director Mahesh Patel spoke to EMTV at the SME breakfast, also stressing the importance of harnessing the agriculture sector even during a pandemic, as in the case of COVID-19.
But I think we as a nation have done extremely well looking at what's happened outside. The government initiatives of lockdown and banning flights from international sources actually did help us to where we are today. There's been a lot of learnings about making sure your business is lean and mean, because we're still not out of it yet.
In a press conference at Eda Tano House yesterday, recently appointed Land Secretary Benjamin Sampson encouraged the availing of land in the country and harnessing it to improve the lives of citizens. Secretary Sampson said customary landowners must be encouraged to free up their land, and the state, through the Lands and Physical Planning Department, must issue them bankable and state titles over their customary land back to them for their usage.
Only if we unlock land and if we do that, our people are hardworking people. If they have a title, they can go to the bank, they can get a loan and improve their living.
Georgina Benson from Mohone Coffee in the Eastern Highlands province flew into Port Moresby yesterday to attend the SME breakfast today. She shared some experiences of operating as an SME, particularly in the coffee industry of PNG.
And it took us a while because the market here is not conducive for us. So when we have funds, we started, and then lack funds and we stopped again. So it's still an ongoing. This is the first time we managed to get something together in a pack like this. This is what we want for everyone to use. It's convenient. You can use it anytime. It's just like a tea bag. So it's coffee in a bag, and you can take it anywhere, use it anywhere, anytime.
Dennis Orere, National EMTV News.
The third largest shareholder of Credit Corporation Limited, Teachers Savings and Loan Society Limited, or TISA, has criticized the manner in which Credit Corporation conducted its annual general meeting. TISA Group CEO Michael Coyson said the 2019 AGM conducted online denied full participation of shareholders. He made a further call for Credit Corporation Chairman Sid Yates to step aside immediately and allow a Papua New Guinean national to assume the role of chairperson of Credit Corporation.
They passed
the net too.
Critiquing the annual general meeting that was facilitated online and did less to satisfy by not allowing for shareholders to participate, TISA Group CEO expressed disappointment in a media conference this morning.
The Board of Credit Corporation, under the leadership of its expatriate chairman, C.D. Yates, manifests an arrogant, big corporate culture attitude that downplays the importance of shareholder rights, concerns and interests. Some credit corporation shareholders are ordinary Papua New Guinean moms and dads who do not have the capacity nor the means to participate in electronic meetings.
Highlighting that the AGM is a shareholders' annual forum where the owners of the company interact with the board and management of their company, and that the Credit Corporation board only used COVID-19 to avoid shareholders' concern and issues with the company.
The COVID-19 pandemic was used by the company and its board to guide and control the shareholders' forum. I think it's very important for us to remember that a shareholders' meeting is a meeting that belongs to the shareholders held once a year. It's not a board meeting, nor is it a management meeting. So a physical AGM could have been easily organized within a large room while observing COVID-19 protocols.
Additionally stating that TISA is mandated to act in the best interest of its 62,000 members and shareholders, calling on the Papua New Guinean national directors serving on the Board of Credit Corporation to remember who they represent and to step up and take ownership of the company.
That at this time, it is critical that all leaders, especially chairpersons and chief executives of Papua New Guinean-owned businesses, must be in country. Our businesses need you here to lead from the front, not tucked away in some distant offshore safe haven. Businesses and the economy are struggling. Leaders must be courageous and they must lead from the front.
Annette Cora, National EMTV News.
More than 40 PNG Power Limited staff participated in 2 days of virtual training sessions conducted by the USAID as part of its efforts to improve the delivery of energy services to PNG consumers. It focused on the review and analysis of the utility's core data-related processes and customer database. During the training, the USAID team provided recommendations on improvements to the entry and management of data, as well as a methodology to survey, cleanse and realign PPL's large customer database. PPL agreed to establish an internal team to oversee the implementation of the customer information survey and develop a timeline for completing the database cleansing process. You're watching National EMTV News. Among stories after the break, family of Jenalyn Kennedy recount her last moments and authorities confirm 11th case of COVID-19. Details after the break. Welcome back. A post-mortem conducted on late Jenalyn Kennedy revealed that she died from head injuries and bruises to her internal organs due to direct blunt force trauma to her head and body. This was revealed at the conclusion of a 4-hour post-mortem conducted by Port Moresby General Hospital Chief Pathologist Dr. Seth Forsey yesterday.
The post-mortem conducted at the funeral home at Erima was to determine late Jenalyn's cause of death. Dr. Forsey, in an interview after the post-mortem, said Jenalyn's death was caused by head injuries and bruises to internal organs. Dr. Forsey added that blunt force injury is defined as injury resulting from impact with a blunt object, one that does not possess any sharp edges. Jenalyn died on Tuesday morning and her body was dropped off at the Port Moresby General Hospital emergency ward by 3 men in a white Toyota Land Cruiser. News of her brutal murder was posted on social media by Dr. Sam Yokopua. The young mother of 2 suffered 5 long years of torture and abuse at the hands of her partner Bosip Kaiwi, who was charged for murder. Following her brutal death, her family called a news conference and spoke of how their daughter eloped in 2015 after meeting Kaiwi. She was only in grade 7 at Ekivaki Primary School. In the years she lived with Kaiwi, her close friend and babysitter Rachel Ipang revealed that she faced countless assaults from Kaiwi.
Continue every sometime I also go around good. Come go inside the room now. Avenue go night time sa paiti mere cholemba. Chaini mem, locky mem, 5 plus chain and put him. Chaini mem finish now, lock him. Sticky tape mouse them. Suti mem want them. Pliers want them. School driver, no knife. Sab paiti mem.
Ipang said in the recent beatings that cost her life, she was tortured from last Thursday to Tuesday this week. The brutal assault had sparked numerous concerns on social media on the increase of domestic violence cases reported in the country. 3 weeks ago, the video of a brutal assault on Debbie Kaure stirred up debate on domestic violence against women. Kaiwi has been charged with willful murder and remains in police custody. Annette Kora, National EMTV News.
The signing of a memorandum of agreement between the East Sepik Provincial Health Authority and the Divine Word University St. Benedict campus in Wewak will now allow nursing students to do their internship at the Boram General Hospital. The MOA, which was signed earlier this week, was witnessed by the officials from the Department of Higher Education, Health and the provincial government. This arrangement will allow nursing students to be given practical training and coaching, preparing them for the workforce. Vice President of DW's St. Benedict campus, Dr. Father Lawrence, said this was a step towards helping nursing students with their training and thanked all parties involved. Also present at the signing was East Sepik Governor Alan Bird.
The board must make sure that they are protecting the people who are going to be receiving your services. And that's why this MOA is so important. It is to make sure we do this thing properly, that you students get a quality education.
ABC News has reported that Papua New Guinea is a dangerous place to give birth. Dr. Glenn Moller, in an interview with ABC Australia, is urging women not to get pregnant in the next 2 years because of the impact of COVID-19 on the country's struggling health system. ABC correspondent Natalie Whiting reports.
Mother of 5, Esther, has walked 8 kilometres to bring one of her children to the local health clinic. She's worried her son Max might have tuberculosis.
The baby coughs a lot and has shortness of breath and fever.
Tuberculosis is endemic in PNG and getting treatment can often be difficult. But it's been harder recently. While the country has only recorded 10 cases of coronavirus, lockdown measures have impacted other health services.
Or what might play out is that the effects, the collateral effects, in fact, are as significant for children.
The children's health charity Child Fund is warning there could be an explosion of infectious diseases in PNG as a result of the diversion of health resources to the COVID-19 response. It says some rural tuberculosis services have been halted and travel restrictions have prevented other patients from making appointments. Lockdown measures have also delayed some immunisation programs. In a country with already high maternal death rates, COVID-19 is leading to some tough advice.
So yes, pregnant this year or next year, defer your pregnancy, have a nice pregnancy in a couple of years' time.
Professor Glenn Moller is one of the country's foremost obstetricians. He's worried about the cases he's seeing. At the Port Moresby General Hospital, a 19-year-old pregnant woman with high blood pressure was turned away because staff didn't yet have coronavirus screening measures.
Then several days later, after she'd been blind for 3 or 4 days, she came to the labour ward and her baby had died, so we lost the baby and she's still blind actually.
For mothers like Esther, the hope is simple.
I'd love to see my children healthy, go to school and be educated.
The focus on COVID-19 is vital in a country that is already vulnerable. With so many other pressing health issues, it's an agonising time.
A landowner group of PDL1 and PDL7 areas in Southern Highlands Province is calling on the government to have royalty payments paid. Kewapa Landowner Association Chairman Mac Maria says they have not received their payments since the project started. In a meeting with the Department of Petroleum, they petitioned the government to have their royalty payments ready.
According to Kewapa Landowner Association Chairman, they have not received their royalty payments, including other benefits from the Heights gas project for over 20 years. They are calling on the government to pay what is rightfully theirs.
No got one bla benefit come up long M2 mi bla walk on behind me yet. Okay, IDG, BDG, SSG, one benefit me Lenona Sao Kishim Long, no got one bla benefit Sao come up from me bla. Na department emol sabelong mipla o mipla lenona.
The Kewapa Landowner Association comes from the PDL 1 and 7 areas in Southern Highlands Province. Under a NEC decision in 2009, they are supposed to be paid over 35 million kina. However, they have not been paid, and they have been following up on this payment for many years.
All land of place, all lagging money, already money blow all. How much plus shipment you go? 300 plus shipment you go. All no benefited. Development benefit, government benefit.
In a recent meeting with the Department of Petroleum, a new chairman was appointed to help push their agenda. A petition was also presented to the department to get their payment ready.
This I need any decision all putting one side of three categories. One plan royalty, misad royalty. I mean, PDL1. Number 2, business development grant, 18 million. Number 3, special support grant, 9 million. So you totally more than 34.2 million.
The landowners further expressed satisfaction that the department will look into their matter and get their payment ready.
Meeting one time more department last day respond problem. The position people come now and over take over. All issues have inside me be meeting now take note finish. Now all by presenting this law all by go straight one meeting minute law now I'm all by presenting law. I'm the minister. Okay, minister but deal direct one time this position problem now. I'm arrangement come up last law DB.
Rayon Lakingu National MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News. We'll bring you stories making headlines overseas when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. Turning overseas, Indonesia fishermen have rescued dozens of people, including Rohingya Muslims, from a boat that sank off the northern province of Aceh. The incident has raised fears there may be more such boats adrift at sea. To the United States, Donald Trump held a political comeback rally to the party faithful in the South, further stoking racial tension and fears over the spread of COVID-19. But in an embarrassment for the president, far fewer than expected turned out for the event in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Donald Trump is becoming increasingly desperate to return to the public stage as polls show his support slipping. Russia went ahead with Victory Day military parade despite coronavirus concerns for thousands taking part. The event, overseen by the Russian President Vladimir Putin, was already postponed on May 9th because of the pandemic. But the Kremlin says new daily infections are on the wane and safety precautions have been taken.
A spectacular parade to mark the 75th anniversary of the Soviet Union's World War II victory over the Nazis, carried out at a time when Russia and indeed the world is fighting a battle of a different kind. Critics said it was irresponsible to hold such an event amid the pandemic, but the president chose to focus on other issues at hand.
We will do all we can so that the memory of your heroic feats never fades. This is the duty of our consciousness and responsibility for the present and the future. Glory to the generation which defeated Nazism.
From tomorrow until July the 1st, Russians will be voting on constitutional changes. It covers a range of issues that include defining marriages between a man and a woman and enshrining the ruble as Russia's only legal currency. Amendments would also allow Mr. Putin 2 more 6-year terms as president if re-elected. Current limits bar him from seeking re-election when his mandate ends in 2024. Citizens, including those who are wary of COVID-19 risks, are being encouraged to vote.
I'm sure that it's completely safe to attend polling stations to vote for the constitutional changes.
The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Russia has exceeded 600,000, the world's third highest tally. Just in the past 24 hours, there were more than 7,000 new infections and 154 deaths. Similar figures to the previous day, but lower than the peak in May, which saw more than 10,000 new cases a day for more than a week. Just this week, restaurants, cafes, playgrounds and gyms in the capital, Moscow, reopened. Opponents of the mayor accuse him of rushing to ease the lockdown in time to allow the Red Square military parade and the vote that could extend President Putin's rule until 2036. Polls forecast at least 65% of voters will endorse the changes.
Chukai Sports is next. Fidelis Sukina is at the sports desk.
Thank you, Helen. Egma Gures looking forward to the Intercity Cup. Join me for the details in Trukai Sports after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Watson Boas, as captain of the Egmak Rabal Gurias, says the team is looking forward to the Intercity Cup competition and have decided to commemorate founder and chairman of Rabal Egmak Gurias, John Nightingale, for the season. Watson Boas, the captain of the Egmak Gurias for this season, is optimistic about the team. The Gurias have a few Hunters players in this year's squad that Watson says will boost the team's campaign.
Boys lo antes sampla maminemi Terry Wapi, Stanley Olo, and Samlal boys, yeah, Samlal antes boys we all come join him, all boys too. We boost him team too go on top. Plus Samlal new plal boys, young plal mangi we Samla Kalo Mosby, Samla Kam Islands we join him team na all nara play all local boys yet. We all staff lab. The past 3 weeks we looking to train one time. We've been struggling from the start. Look. Williams la combination can, but as time goes, the training session go now. We play like yesterday when we play training, we look in training and comes up where we play look good now. Yeah, ready to game now.
Watson says the team has agreed to commemorate this season to founder and chairman of the Egmak Rabal Gurias, John Nightingale, who passed away in May.
With the lost law franchise owner mi play. Like I got a boys put here at one time. I'll talk one play game this year. Lo franchise like owner blum play when pass away last month. So yeah, what a boys stay in take na like work one time game over something back lo. I mean we lo put over something no worry lo one pay or one something, but we just concentrate lo game backs la year go back and lo franchise owner lo.
Players in the Intercity Cup competition are likely to have more opportunities to make it into the PNG LNG Kumuls. Sandy Saka, the chairman of the Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League, says that players need to play well at the Intercity Cup level to be considered for the Kumuls. Sandy Saka, the chairman of the Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League, says there are only 2 rugby league competitions that the PNG RFL will be looking to for the selection of the PNG LNG Kumuls.
Elite players are playing in the Digital Cup competition, which is only the second competition in the world to be running after the NRL. There's no other rugby league competition running. There's only 2 competitions. That's the NRL in Australia and the Digital Cup in Papua New Guinea in the world at present. So those are the 2 competitions that obviously will be available to us.
For the past 5 years, the PNG LNG Kumuls coach Michael Marum always looked at the Intra Super Cup, Super League and the NRL for players for the national side. But this time around, circumstances can't allow for that. The SPPNG Hunters players will now be playing in the Digicel Cup competition. Sandy Saka says the players that are part of the Hunters 2020 squad, who have reverted to the Digicel Cup, will be monitored for their performance in the Intercity Cup competition to ensure they maintain their high-performance training program.
Our elite players under the Hunters program, we did not shut down. Our high-performance program with the Hunters program, led by Solo and the coach Matt Church, is still continuing. The boys are being monitored so that they maintain the values and the structures that are about the Hunters. So over the next 6 months, we'll be keeping a tab on them.
Saka also stressed that the players are not guaranteed a spot in the national side, despite their inclusion in the Hunters team this year. This opens the door for the Digicel Cup as a definite selection competition for the Kumuls.
And obviously, just because they're playing there does not guarantee them a position in they have to play well and keep their form to get a call-up for our internationals at the end of the year.
And still ahead in Trukai Sports, results from Friday night football and more joy for Australia and New Zealand hosting the Women's World Cup.
Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
A look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Mostly fine weather in Port Moresby, windy and mostly fine, although partly cloudy in Daru. Mostly fine in Kerma, mostly fine, although partly cloudy in Alotau, and a few rain showers, then cloudy weather in Popondita. In the Mamasa region, a few showers and drizzles, then cloudy in Lae. Mostly fine weather in Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, fine weather in Lorengau, a shower or two in Kavieng, a few rain showers, then cloudy weather in Kokoporobao and Kimbe, and rain showers easing to cloudy periods in Buka. And in the Highlands region, fine, although partly cloudy tonight, then morning fog in Mount Hagen, Goroka and Kundiawa, and light rain drizzles tonight, then morning fog in Mendi and Wabeg. There is a renewal strong wind warning, strong southeast wind surge of 25 to 33 knots with stronger gusts to 47 knots over southwest Bismarck, and coral seas are expected to continue for the next 24 hours, causing rough seas and high wind waves. All small boats and crafts are advised to take necessary precautions before going out to sea. Forecast for small crafts within the coastal waters of Papua New Guinea for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG, Indonesian border through Torres Strait to Daru, to Kiwai Island, to Gulf of Papua, to Hood Point, Samare Island with waters of Finschhafen to Vitiaz and Dampier Straits, to Siasi Islands, to Long Island, to Karkar Island and Manam, to Bogia, to Wewak, to Aitape, to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas of 2 to 3.5 meters. Waters of inland Gulf to Kerma, to Yule Island, to Port Moresby, to Hood Point with waters of Manus and its western group of islands, and with waters of West New Britain, seas of 1 to 2.5 meters. Waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, seas of 2 to 2.5 meters. Waters of East Cape to Cape Vogel to Finschhafen, seas of 1 to 1.5 meters. Waters of New Ireland to East New Britain and Bougainville, seas of 0.5 to 1.5 meters. A A look at the ocean forecast for PNG areas in the Coral Sea. Seas rough to high seas with southeast winds at 25 to 33 knots, gusting to 47 knots at times. In the Solomon Sea, seas moderate to rough with southeasterly winds at 15 to 25 knots, increasing to 33 knots in the south. In the Bismarck Sea, seas moderate to patches rough with southeasterly winds at 20 to 30 knots, increasing to 47 knots over the southwest. And in the Pacific Ocean, seas slight to moderate with southeasterly winds at 10 to 20 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's the way it is this Saturday, 27th of June 2020. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Good night.